Lesson 27. Do you think... Page 66. Conversation. A. Listen. Where are May and Alicia? What options do they discuss and prefer?
I'm so glad we came to London. It's such a beautiful city.
It really is. I can't wait to explore.
What do you feel like doing? Do you want to take a guided tour or explore on our own?
Oh, I'd rather explore on our own. Guided tours are too crowded.
I agree. What should we have for breakfast?
Do you think we should splurge or stick to our budget?
I think it makes sense to splurge. I mean, you only live once.
Well, that's true.
Page 66. Conversation. C. Listen. Write the 3 extra sentences you hear in the conversation. Practice the new conversation.
I'm so glad we came to London. It's such a beautiful city.
It really is. I can't wait to explore.
What do you feel like doing? Do you want to take a guided tour or explore on our own? There's a bus tour that starts at noon.
Oh, I'd rather explore on our own. Guided tours are too crowded.
I agree. What should we have for breakfast?
Do you think we should splurge or stick to our budget? This restaurant looks nice, but it's probably expensive.
I think it makes sense to splurge. I mean, you only live once.
Well, that's true. In that case, let's go shopping after breakfast.
Lesson 28. It's important to... Page 68. Conversation. A. Listen. Where is Patrick going to go? What cultural advice does Sophie give Patrick?
Are you excited about your trip to New York?
Yeah, I really am. But I'm a little nervous too. It's my first time in the United States, and I want to make sure I don't make any faux pas.
Oh, I see. What are you not sure about?
Well, I have an early morning business meeting the day after I arrive. Is it acceptable to arrive a little late?
Not really. In the U.S., it's important to be on time.
Okay, that's good to know. What should I do when I first meet people? Should I shake hands, kiss them?
Well, in the U.S., it's inappropriate to kiss people when you first meet them. It's customary to shake hands when you meet people.
I'm glad I asked.
Page 69. Listening. A and B. Number 1.
I'm so embarrassed.
Why? What happened?
I did something really inappropriate during my business meeting this afternoon.
What did you do?
Well, in my culture, it's customary to bring gifts to a business meeting, so I brought gifts to my meeting today.
Well, that's nice.
No, it was so uncomfortable. No one else brought gifts, and they all seemed to think it was strange that I did. It was a really awkward situation.
Don't worry. I'm sure everyone enjoyed their gifts.
Number 2.
How was your trip?
It was really fun, but I don't think the family that I visited will invite me back.
Why not?
Well, I guess I asked some insensitive questions while I was visiting.
What do you mean? What did you ask?
I asked the father how much his car cost, and I asked the mother how much money she makes at her job.
Oh, yeah. That's considered to be personal information.
I know. I'm not sure why I asked those questions. I guess I was just nervous.
Why don't you write them an email and explain that you didn't mean to ask inappropriate questions, but that you were nervous, and thank them for letting you stay with them?
That's a good idea. At least it will make me feel better.
Number 3.
Did you enjoy your trip?
Yeah, I did, but I made a huge faux pas the day that I arrived.
Oh, no. What did you do?
Well, I was invited to come to a dinner at a colleague's house that evening. The email said that the dinner started at 7, so I arrived right at 7.
Oops. I think that it's inappropriate to arrive exactly on time in that culture.
I know that now, but I wasn't aware of it at the time.
So what happened?
Well, the host was still getting ready, and I was the only person there. I sat alone in the living room for an hour before anyone else showed up.
Lesson 29. Did you see the game? Page 72. Conversation. A. Listen. What kind of game is Robert talking about? What is Tristan talking about?
Did you see the match?
The match? What match?
The World Cup? The biggest soccer tournament in the world? Brazil was incredible.
Oh, that's great. So, do you know what kind of car that is?
Not sure. So, yeah, it was a really close match. At the end of the second half, the score was tied, so the match went into overtime. Then Brazil had this penalty kick, and...
Did they? Speaking of overtime, did I mention how much I've been working lately?
Page 72. Conversation. C. Listen. Write the 3 extra sentences you hear in the conversation. Practice the new conversation.
Did you see the match?
The match? What match?
The World Cup? The biggest soccer tournament in the world? Brazil was incredible. It was a close game.
Oh, that's great. So, do you know what kind of car that is? I really like it.
Not sure. So, yeah, it was a really close match. At the end of the second half, the score was tied, so the match went into overtime. Then Brazil had this penalty kick, and...
Did they? Speaking of overtime, did I mention how much I've been working lately? I've been working so much.
Lesson 30. Hold on. Page 74. Conversation. A. Listen. What did the man try to steal? What happened to the man?
Did you read about this guy who tried to steal a car yesterday?
What do you mean he tried to steal it?
He forced a woman out of the car in front of witnesses, but he didn't know how to drive it. So he asked the woman to show him how to drive the car.
Hold on. What did you say the guy did?
He actually asked the woman to come back to the car to show him how to start it.
No way! What did the woman do?
She ran away and called the police. When the police arrived, the guy was still trying to figure out how to start the car.
Page 75. Listening. A. Listen to a conversation about something that happened in the news. Mark the statements T, true, or F, false.
Did you hear about the woman who broke into someone's house and stole a laptop?
No. What happened?
Well, she got arrested when she tried to sell it back to the person she stole it from.
Wait. Did you say she tried to sell it back to the owner?
Yeah. She actually stole the computer from her next-door neighbour. Then she had a garage sale in front of her house where she tried to sell the computer and a lot of other stuff. The owner of the computer just walked outside his house and saw his computer on a table with a price tag on it.
What did he do?
He picked it up and started walking away with it, and she told him he had to pay for it.
Hold on. Did you say she told him to pay for it? Didn't she know it belonged to him?
No, she had never seen him before.
What do you mean she hadn't seen him before? He was her next-door neighbor, right?
Yeah, he was. But I guess he and his family had only moved in a couple of weeks earlier.
That's incredible. Didn't she think he might see the computer outside her house?
I guess not. Anyway, the guy walked away with the computer, and the woman actually called the police to come and arrest him.
Page 75. Listening. B. Listen to the rest of the conversation and write answers to the questions.
Wait, she called the police?
Yeah. Can you believe it? They came to her house and talked to her and the real owner of the computer. When they turned the laptop on, they found that all of his files were still on it.
Wow, that's amazing.
I know. The police arrested her and took her to jail. They also took away all of the items she was trying to sell. When they investigated, they discovered that she had stolen everything from people in her neighborhood. They also found out she's already a convicted criminal. She has been breaking into houses and stealing since she was a teenager.
Lesson 31. Studies have shown. Page 76. Conversation. A. Listen. What does Luis think of banner ads at the beginning of the conversation? What does he think of them at the end of the conversation?
These banner ads are so annoying. I don't know why advertising companies create them.
Actually, I read somewhere that banner ads do influence consumers.
Really? But I don't even pay attention to them. I only see them for half a second.
I know, me too. But it's been proven that if you see the same thing many times, it can affect you even if you don't pay attention to it.
Is that really true?
Well, studies have shown that if you keep seeing a banner ad over and over, you develop a positive feeling about that brand or product. For example, people tend to remember banner ads, and they tend to shop for those brands.
Wow, I didn't realize that advertisements could manipulate consumers that much.
Page 77. Listening. A and B. 1.
You know, I think television ads have more influence on consumers than radio ads do.
Why do you think that?
Well, I've heard that if you experience something with more than one sense, you remember it better. You can watch and listen to TV ads, but you can only listen to radio ads.
Yeah, that's an interesting point, but I don't know.
Like, you know how when you read a news story and see it on the TV news, you remember it better than if you just read it?
Yeah, that's a good point. Or if you read an article and then your professor talks about it, you remember the details of it better.
Exactly.
2.
I don't think there should be ads on social networking sites. They're not very effective.
Well, a lot of those ads are chosen specifically for particular people, so they're probably really effective.
What do you mean?
I read somewhere that marketers get information about people from social networking sites and make sure that people get ads for things that they'll be interested in. It's called target marketing.
Yeah, but sometimes I get ads for makeup and women's shoes, and I'm a single male.
That's weird. I get ads that are targeted for me. For example, I like video games and soccer, and I always get ads for products related to sports and video games.
Well, my sister told me that she gets ads for video games all the time, and she hates video games. I'm not sure target marketing always works like it's supposed to.
3.
This ad drives me crazy.
Why?
Because of the jingle. I don't think commercials should use jingles. They're kind of annoying.
I think they're really effective.
You do? Why? They don't usually say anything important about the product, and I don't think they persuade consumers to buy the product. I think slogans have more influence on consumers.
Well, I read an article about the effectiveness of advertising recently. It said that when people listen to the words from an advertisement, 62% of them remember the advertisement that the words came from. But 83% of people remember the advertisement when they hear 10 seconds of the jingle from the ad. For example, everyone remembers that advertising jingle for ice cream that was popular when we were kids.
Yeah, I still remember it.
Me too. I also read somewhere that jingles and music in advertisements can set a mood for a product. For example, if the jingle sounds happy, it can make consumers associate the product with happiness.
That's fascinating.
Lesson 32. What's your opinion? Page 78. Conversation. A. Listen. What does Citizen 1 want the city to spend money on? What does Citizen 2 want the city to spend money on?
We're here in front of City Hall today, where citizens are waiting to join a town meeting about next year's budget. Everyone here has an opinion about what the city should be spending money on. Some want more money for schools. Others want better roads. Good evening. City officials are talking about spending more money on repairing the roads next year. What's your opinion on that?
The way I see it, the city should spend money on improving public transportation before fixing the potholes. I tend to think that people should drive less, and they can't do that without good public transportation.
One of your fellow citizens believes that the city should spend more money on public transportation rather than on the roads next year. What are your thoughts on that issue?
I wonder if we should spend any money on roads or transportation at all next year. It seems to me that the city's biggest problem right now is crime.
Page 78. Conversation. C. Listen. Write the 3 extra sentences you hear in the conversation. Practice the new conversation.
We're here in front of City Hall today, where citizens are waiting to join a town meeting about next year's budget. Everyone here has an opinion about what the city should be spending money on. Some want more money for schools. Others want better roads. Let's talk to some of them. Good evening. City officials are talking about spending more money on repairing the roads next year. What's your opinion on that?
The way I see it, the city should spend money on improving public transportation before fixing the potholes. I tend to think that people should drive less, and they can't do that without good public transportation. We need better trains and buses.
One of your fellow citizens believes that the city should spend more money on public transportation rather than on the roads next year. What are your thoughts on that issue? Do you agree?
I wonder if we should spend any money on roads or transportation at all next year. It seems to me that the city's biggest problem right now is crime.